Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil. Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil. Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de
Hello.
Hello. Oh,
I've tricked you all this week. What do you think of the new intro, everyone? Will we just leave that, and at the end of each intro we'll just say what the topic is?
sounds good.
It's a little bit of everything that we've done over the last couple of years in that intro.
Oh my goodness. I didn't have comments, so I was having a panic attack.
Oh,
But it seems
well.
to have been sorted now.
Hi, Jeanette. Hi,
click the
Marani. Hi, Esther. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Gail, and happy anniversary to you and Mark. Hi, Sue. Lovely to see
Lots
you.
of comments on your new do, Kerrie.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, it's very different. Luckily, I don't look at myself in the mirror very often. And when I do, it's like, oh, who's that?
Oh, I'm waiting for you to have some little pigtails.
The worst of it is, like, you go to, anyone who's had really long hair, when you put your top on or anything, the first thing you do is go to pull your hair out.
Yeah.
And there's nothing there. So anyway, I'll get used to it. Hi, Sandy.
Yeah.
Sandy,
Hi, Gail.
thank you very much for buying us a coffee and donating towards our live stream costs. We really appreciate you. And we had some more Karen Coase who I haven't seen on here yet today. Thank you as well for your generosity. We really appreciate that. Yeah, so thank you all. Interesting. Colleen, welcome. From behind the scenes, up front and centre.
Yes, she finally made me get out of my pajamas. I don't know if I'm happy about that. I had to brush my hair too. You're very mean to
You
me.
could have come on in your PJs, lovely. Nobody cares.
That's what I
The
said.
bottom half is.
That's exactly what I said when I contacted Colin and said, hey, this is our topic this week and you've got some great tips and tricks that you do. Would you come on our panel this week instead of behind the scenes. She said, "Oh, do I have to get out of my pajamas?" I went, "No."
I've been on here in my hoodie and my nightie. You know, like this isn't about looking flash. So yeah,
No.
literally in my hoodie and my nightie. I've looked like last week's washing on this. So, you know, you didn't need to put your clothes on, but thank you.
And
Thank you,
thank you,
thank you.
Gail. Yeah, Ray says we wouldn't know, Cole. There you go.
True, true. Well, I did
Nice.
used to do that when I was doing my lives at work at home, you know, meetings.
Yeah,
I'd be out in the pool and then run in for the meeting and quickly put a scarf around my neck so no one could see my cosy.
Nobody sees your gathers.
Yeah, it was cool.
Oh.
A good tan that year.
Hi, Tracy. How are you? Now, Annie was telling me, Annie and I caught up on Thursday because we're putting some exciting things together for next year. And she was mentioning a post that you made, Tracy, that actually fits in really well with tonight's theme. Do you remember what that was, Annie?
Yeah, and sadly, my darling, it wasn't Tracy, it was Sue.
Ah, it was Sue. Well, there you go.
It
Sorry,
was Susie,
Tracy.
and she's not on tonight.
Ah, there you go.
So, yeah, it was Susie.
Annie, can you just stand up a bit, please? We want to see the chop. Has that got crystals in it? Oh,
It's got
feathers.
feathers and moons and stuff.
Very nice.
It's nice and cool.
Very nice.
Tracy's just said, phew, off the hook.
You off the
I can
hook.
put you straight back on the hook if you want.
Hi, Kathy. How are you? Hi, AJ.
Okay, so our topic tonight is about health and well-being, actually. And like I say, it came off the back of a post by Sue. And I don't know how you guys on here are feeling, but we were just talking before we got on air about how we've hit the pointy end of the year. And this year has gone so rapidly. And all of us have seemed to do so much in this 1 year. Which also leads me to our topic for our next live that Kerrie doesn't know anything about.
No, I'm waiting for you.
Surprise!
This is how
I just thought, because so many of us have done, well, all of us, in one way or another, have done so much this year. And this is one of the things that we do stuff and we tick the box and we move forward. So for next fortnight, what I would really love for you to do for us is in your comments, have a think over the next 2 weeks about the one thing that you feel you've accomplished or that you're proud of, because we don't often stop and say, well, I've actually done this. Or we just tick the box and think next. So I just thought it would be lovely if we, and it just needs to be, it doesn't matter if it's only a little tiny thing or for you, everything's a big thing, you know, like if you've accomplished anything, or you're proud of anything you've done, and it doesn't matter what it's related to, whether it's a work thing or a personal thing or something you've done for somebody or something that's happened to you. I just thought
Achievement or a goal.
Yeah. And I just thought that would be lovely because our little beautiful bubble girl can put your bubbles up when you put in what you've done. And that way we can all share in your celebration.
Yeah.
And it's like big claps. Look at what we've accomplished this year. Because I think the show after that is pretty much our last live reading show.
Yeah.
So we're not that far away from that because by November we're done. So I just thought that might be quite a nice way for everybody to share what they've accomplished.
They could put like a lesson learned in the last 12 months as well, because
Thank you,
some
Colleen,
of the goals we have aren't positive, right? Or some of the achievements weren't a positive thing, but the lesson out of them was a positive thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So whatever you feel that
the highlight of the year.
Yeah. And whatever you feel that you're happy to share, you know, and it doesn't need to be like a paragraph. It just needs to be a couple of lines. Sorry. A couple of lines about what you've done or something that you feel, well, I've ticked that one off my bucket list, or I've accomplished this, or whatever.
Mhm.
So if you
Write
have a
like
little-
Annie, not like Kerrie. We don't want a novel, Kerrie. We want the dot point form.
Okay. See, I'm
Because there's not
told.
enough
Oh,
characters in the comment field.
The problem is there's not a bell. There's not a bell big enough.
yeah, yeah, Fiona, you'll be in, or you'll be at Coldplay
Oh,
next
lucky
Sunday week
you.
after Humana
Oh.
with Ned, and Sophia's going to be down there too. Fee, she's going down to Sydney to do the other, not the Humana, the other day with Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you know, I'm not even going to start on what Sophia's achieved this year. That's her job. It's her story.
Yeah,
But yeah, Kerrie and I are going to see Cold Chisel next Saturday.
we are. Pretty exciting.
A working class man we're going to see.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, oh, Fee's just said, oh, great, I'm doing both days too. Fabulous. Fabulous. So you can get to meet each other and not just be a little circle on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be nice. That'll be nice. So I'll stop gas bagging. And I think what we'll do is we'll do a little meditation. So if you get yourself comfortable, oh, Vanessa's down. She's in Sydney as well. Everybody's all over the place. Amanda's going to tea at the Green. See, look at us all. I used to serve Jimmy Barnes at Macca's. I came to Geraldton, and I went from Glasgow to Geraldton, which was just a highlight in my life. I thought I'd died and gone to heaven. And Chisel was on at the netball courts because it was the only place big enough for the whole town to congregate. There was 10,000 people in the town. And they played two chords and blew the power in the whole town. It was so awesome. I'd only been here for about a month. And I was with my staff, and they said to me, okay, so you've got to learn to sing all the words of Kaisan and Working Class Man. You've got to eat a pie without cutlery, because apparently a pie with cutlery is a pensioner's pie. So I had to eat a pie. Colleen's nodding. So I had to eat a pie without cutlery, and I had to drink a box of horrible Emu bitter beer, and they would make me Australian. And I am proud to say I am an Australian. I accomplished.
Congratulations.
Tick, 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 tick. And that was 40 years ago in 3 weeks. I've been here 40 years ago on the 40 years on the 26th of November. So you're stuck with me now, peeps.
Wow.
Going anywhere.
Happy anniversary.
Nearly.
And Kathy is off to Burnie down in Taz.
Taz is
for a
beautiful.
week next Sunday.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Everyone's on the move. Ian Moss used to live near Shelley's sister Peter. Well, there you go.
6 degrees of separation.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. Yep. Maybe that's why I decided eating at Macca's.
Or maybe it's that I saw him about 40 years ago fall off the stage blind, rotten drunk at Bankstown Sports Club. That was a night to remember. And he did bounce back up and jump back up on stage.
Yeah.
It was
no wonder his hips are shot and his body's broken.
And Jeanette's off for the trip with Kathy.
Or his liver can't be good either.
Woohoo. Jeanette, you just live out of a suitcase these days. You're all over the place. It's so exciting.
Which sports club? Bankstown Sports Club. Esther. In Sydney.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Settle in.
Get comfy. Shut your little eyes. And let's do our little meditation. Okay. Open your crown chakra and fill your body with the white light of the universe, pulling it down from your crown all the way down through your head, down through your torso, down through your spine, down through your buttocks, down through your thighs and your knees, down through your calves and your shins, and into your feet. Pull the red dirt of Mother Earth and the beautiful red light of that up through your feet to mingle with the white light coming down from Father Sky, up through the soles of your feet, up through your heels and your ankles, relaxing them as you go. Let your calves go slack as the beautiful red light, mingling with the white, turns rose gold and relaxes your muscles very softly and very gently. Up through your knees and through your thighs, up into your buttocks, up through your belly, up your spine, flowing out and radiating through every part of your body, down your arms and into your hands, up through your chest, up to your neck, and back into your head. Big deep breath in, and let every muscle in your body relax and go slack. Imagine yourself walking up a gentle slope. Beautiful green grass all around you. Wildflowers are there. There's buttercups, there's dandelions, there's daisies, there's bluebells, there's daffodils. The weather is glorious, the sun is shining, and there's a gentle breeze. As you walk up the hill, you're taking all this in, you're looking at the sky, and you look up to the top of the hill where you see a mirror. You keep walking up the hill, and as you get closer, you see yourself approaching yourself in the mirror. When you get to the mirror, you stop. Ask yourself in the mirror if your reflection has anything it would like to tell you, to show you, or to give you. I'll leave you there to have a chat and come back with you shortly. It's time to come back now. Say goodbye to your reflection in the mirror and turn and walk slowly and gently back down the hill. As you get to the bottom of the hill, feel your bottom on the chair, feel your feet on the floor, and come back to the room where we started. When you are ready, wriggle your fingers, wriggle your toes, and open your eyes. How did we go?
Thank you.
That was good. Thanks, Annie.
Did you get anything, hear anything, see anything, feel anything?
See if anyone's jumping in chat. It was actually interesting looking into that mirror because I was definitely feeling the texture. Oh, hello, you. What are you doing in here tonight? Feeling the texture of the ground and the smell of the flowers around me, and yet looking in the mirror, at first I thought, oh, it's very one-dimensional, and I went, no, it's actually multi-dimensional. So that was an interesting thought, just coming through that process. And then the thought that everything exists in light and sound form, which is what you're seeing in the mirror, like a multiverse. So very interesting experience and thought process that was coming to me through that.
It's I used to do this a long time ago, and I used to get people to step through the mirror, and sometimes that can be a little bit confronting. But starting by seeing yourself in the mirror, it's like acknowledging and recognizing your higher self, because that's what it is. It's your higher self has messages for you, and it might not, you might just hear or see or feel, but a lot of people don't actually look into their own eyes. Like they'll slap on their makeup or they'll comb their hair or they'll wash the face. But to stand in front of the mirror and actually look at yourself can be quite confronting, for a lot of people. But it is your higher self that you're talking to. Didn't want to come back, Tracy said.
Yeah, and Veronica was saying before, it was like looking 6 months ahead and seeing where I had come from. Yeah. Exactly, which really links into that, taking time to appreciate the journey and how far you've already come and what the journey ahead will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think next
That was interesting, but because if I'm seeing my higher self, I was seeing myself at 5. So does that mean I'm still mentally a 5-year-old, Annie?
Yeah.
I thought I progressed.
No,
Colleen, without see, when you're 5, your thoughts are pure and not tainted. And that little version of you is probably much smarter than the grown-up version of you that's had to deal with all the stuff, with life and all the stuff that you've had to deal with. So, and Gail also, I think, said it was, she looked at a younger version of herself. So, Nate, can you type out what your
so before we got tainted
is about, please? But before, inner child, Fiona says, and it's that's a much clearer, purer version. And the masks that we put on by all the crap that's happened to us is all stripped away when you're little and 5. So you're seeing, and that's the real you. Does that make sense? Not the masked you that's been hurt and battered and damaged and mangled, the real.
Well, I did feel a really deep level of peace. There is. Well, so for a 5-year-old me, and a sensation of peace.
Yeah.
So hopefully.
See, there's Nate
exactly, Fiona. Innocent and before life's conditioning. Yep.
Yeah. And Esther has said Tracy said purity, and Esther said authentic. And Nate has said children see life simply. We complicate life with our thoughts and beliefs. So what do you need to strip back, bubble girl? And that's about pulling the brakes down and kicking the walls down.
What don't I need to strip back?
Well, it's about being open, and it's really about authenticity and that purity, and that's what all these people have said, and that's why you would have seen that little person because there's the real you without all the bullshit that's happened between then and now, you know. And that's gorgeous. That's what you need to get back to.
True that.
Sorry. My guides are singing, sorry. And I can't sing anymore, so I don't want to sing.
Sorry.
But you guys would know this. It's come with me and you'll see there's a world of pure imagination. And that's that childlike wonder, isn't it? You know? Okay, stop
Yeah.
it. Sorry.
A Willy
Kerrie,
Wonka.
my guides are singing too. And my guides are singing completely something different. Yeah. I lost my shirt. I lost my shirt. I burnt my ring. I've done all the dumb things.
now
That's
you're
our-
letting the speaker out. That's a bit of a
Yeah.
theme song for Annie.
Yeah, that's us. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Esther, I don't remember anything significant at 5. I got my sister when I was
What's
4. Maybe she started
Mind your
walking and
business,
annoying
Mr.
me
Nico.
after that.
Yes. Put your
Oh, hang
fingers
on,
in your
I'll be
ears.
back.
Now covered in fur. Thanks for Yusi. Thank you, Yusi.
I just did an intense 3-day training. That's Fiona. Stripping back and reprogramming neural pathways to heal these traumas. Fiona, I think that's interesting too, because there's a lot of things happening at the moment. You know, like Kerrie's calling it a tower moment. Like things from the past are kind of coming back again at us. And there seems to be one thing after another going wrong in a lot of people's lives at the moment. And it's like the shake up. It's like, let's get back to basics. Let's clear out the crap and get back to basics, which leads me very nicely. That's a really good segue into what I want to talk about tonight. Because now, as you know, we in this realm do not give medical advice, but there are conditions that require medical procedures, and there are conditions that require people to take medication, and that's okay, you know. But to strip things back to a more holistic approach, I just wanted to run through what medicine is in its real form. So for some people, medicine is exercise. I know people that if they don't go to the gym and if they don't run and they don't move, they get chronic migraines. I had a friend that it was dreadful, and she had to run every single morning or she was just broken, you know. Not for me. Like, exercise for me is just torture. Hello, Kitty. Fasting.
Well, running for me gives me headaches because my boobs hit me in the head.
Each to their own call. Fasting is medicine.
It's not good. It's not
And if you
good.
think about what the Buddhist monks do, they do that fasting. Now, it's all the rage at the moment is to fast for 8 hours during the day and only have maybe, you know, little meals. So fasting. For me, nature is medicine. And for me, when I'm fractious, Paul says things like, get in the car, we're going to the beach. I get to the water, he puts his hand out, he takes my shoes, and I just get straight into the water. And that settles me. And I can sit there and look at the ocean. And for me, that's just my happy place. For other people, it might be, I'm the same with waterfalls, anything with water. For other people, it's the bush. They got to get out in the bush, you know. That's their happy place, away from the city, away from the city lights. You know, one of the things that really gobsmacked me about Australia when I got here was I lived in Glasgow, which is like Melbourne without sunshine. And we have very limited stars because of the density of the population. And when I moved to Geraldton, there's not all the streetlights and everything, and it was a tiny wee place. And me and my kids just used to lie on the roof, and there were like a gazillion stars. I didn't know there were that many stars up in the sky. And like we would count them, you know. And it was just, and even sunsets. I was driving back from Perth one day, and the sun I'd never seen anything like this in my life. There were these black boy trees. I know I'm politically incorrect, but I don't know the proper name. And it was dark, and the sun was this giant orange ball in the sky. I had to stop my car, and I was sitting on the roof of my car crying because it was just so beautiful, you know. And I that's that innocence, Colleen, that you were talking about, that pure childlike wonder at things that are glorious and beautiful. And too many people just rush and don't see it. Kerrie, your sunsets,
Yeah.
like you plonk yourself on the deck and
Mhm.
watch sunset, and that's your defragging from your days.
Yeah. Yep. And bare feet on
Yeah.
the ground, that
Yeah.
grounding,
Yeah.
you know, so that nature connection. So, you know, exercise obviously as medicine, you know, because sitting around, we're not moving everything through the body, but we're also, from a spiritual sense, also not moving the energy flow either. That stagnates as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a lot of that, yeah, with it. But the nature is another huge one,
Yeah.
which is medicine for the soul,
Yeah.
you know, that connection.
Yeah.
And it takes you into that space of appreciation and gratitude.
Well,
So
that's another one.
trading
Gratitude.
in hand. Yeah.
Yeah. Gratitude. That's another, it's medicine. That feeling of either being grateful for something someone's done for you, or just feeling grateful for the sunset or the day or the food on your table. You know, that's another, that's a calming, peaceful thing. Kerrie, you're going to like this one. Sleep is medicine, because you don't do that. At the moment,
Yeah.
you're really struggling. And
Yes, I am.
sleep is, yeah. And sleep is medicine. Your body rebuilds itself and rejuvenates while you sleep. And if you're tired, everything is worse and everything is harder.
And
So,
your thinking isn't as clear either,
no,
you
you go
know.
all fuzzy headed.
Correct. Yeah, correct. And there's been a lot of it's almost like we've had a weather change here in Queensland again today, you know, the way that energy's coming in towards sort of storms again. And it's almost like my body is feeling that a couple of days out, and my energy goes all over the place immediately. So it's now working through, okay, my body's telling me it's reacting to the energy of all of this. I need to watch what's happening with my energy, because otherwise it impacts the sleep process.
Yeah.
So this afternoon, guys, I actually grabbed out my little mini pillow, right, for vibro sound, and did the track called Deep Calm for Kids and Teens. And I'm cuddling my little pillow, lying down, having a nap this afternoon, because my energy's just been all over the place. Yeah.
So people are absolutely preempting me here, because Kathy has dancing, and I know she dances 2 or 3 nights a week. Laughter is incredible medicine. If you think about how often little people giggle, laughter makes you feel so much better. Everybody should laugh all the time, listening to little people.
You can't help but laugh when you're
Yeah.
listening to a child in that pure joy of laughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunlight, being out in the sunshine. Now, you got to be sensible about that one, you know. But sunshine, I know that for
Oh,
a
I don't
fact,
know about that. I'm a redhead, and I'm in the sun all the time.
live in Scotland, where it's only sunny 2 days a year. It's permanently rainy and drizzly, and it's grey, and it's damp to your bones. And a lot of people are just miserable, you know, because like we've got 2 seasons, wet and wetter, cold and colder.
Yeah.
That's it, you know. Summer's like 2 days a year sometimes in Scotland. You get every now and again it does itself, you know, it shocks everybody, and then they all fall over.
Yeah.
Because it's
And look,
hot.
Ray's combining it all. How true is this? Get out into nature, dance as if nobody's watching, right? Enjoy nature's art or doing art yourself, right? Because that's the creative side, right? Sunsets, enjoying the sunsets and sunrises, both ends of the day can be just beautiful. Watching everything come to life in the morning and everything settling down to rest in the evening. Both those ends of the day have some beautiful energy about them. And beach walks. Yes.
Yeah,
All of
absolutely.
Yep.
Get your feet in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Art is medicine. And, that's proven by art therapy. Like everybody, lots of people in the mental health arena use art as therapy. And it's a way of, especially for little people and kids, it's a way of expressing your feelings when you haven't got the words to articulate how you feel. So that's medicine too. Like cats.
Cats are medicine. In
Pets
fact,
are medicine.
any pet, if you've
Yeah.
got a connection
And
with
all
an
animals.
all animals, and even wild animals, even connection, just talking to the birds
Yeah.
going past, or we've had a lot of lizards at the moment, little blue tongues out and about. I like to have a chat to them too. So
Now, babies. Don't babies just smell yummy? You just want to bite the bums. They just smell so good. They're delicious little things, babies. Absolutely delicious. Tracy said all of these are energetic, so energy is medicine. And
correct.
way up back there, somewhere, somebody said music. And I was listening to a podcast where there was a doctor who said that music is the new medicine. And Kerrie can attest to that one.
Yeah,
When it's done in the right frequency.
that's sort of your key. Sadly they change it to the 440 hertz, and that actually aggravates our nervous system and makes people feel more agitated. So really do think about that. It's not about forgetting about your favorite music, right? Just go look for it in 432 hertz. Right, it is out there. So go look for it in that frequency, because that frequency actually resonates far better with our physical bodies. So you're going to increase the benefits of listening to the music, as well as all the different frequency music for specific things. But just in general, look for music in 432 hertz.
The thing with when we were in Gladstone, we were just basket cases when we were in Gladstone. And sometimes we were blithering idiots. It was like schoolies on speed. But the thing about your different hertz, I find that there's some I don't resonate with because I don't need them. And what we ended up was deep calm for teenagers and children. That was what we ended up with, and that worked for both of us.
Exactly what I use today, because that's just really taking you back to a base level. Yeah.
Yep. And friends, if you've got good friends around you. I think that's one thing that, sorry, Nate, and you do this too, you do this well, but I think that's one thing that women are much better at than men. We have our girls around us. We have the sisterhood. I used to call them my 4 o'clock in the morning friends. These people that if everything goes pear-shaped, you can phone them at 4 o'clock in the morning and they'll be there. The ones that will bail you out of prison or be in there with you. The ones that cope with your silly and celebrate it. The ones that you can be authentically you with, and that you can just get the giggles and you ever get the giggles that you've got to the point where you think you're going to die because you look at each other, and every time you look at each other, you just start again. It's ridiculous, that stuff. But good friends and people to talk to. Tracy's going to be in the cell next.
That will help you bury the body.
Yeah, that's it.
Nah, Tracy, you'll be in the cell beside me and we'll be dancing to Kerrie's music. I've done all the dumb things. It's just come back again.
That's it. And Anita's talking about earthing. That's actually, I think I mentioned before, bare feet as well. And that bare feet on the earth is incredibly balancing for the human body, particularly if we're absorbing a lot of energies, and we do these days because we're surrounded by it, right? We're surrounded by the Wi-Fi and the 5G and everything else hitting us. That grounding and using the earth itself to ground. They call it, with the electricity, they earth the electricity, and they do that for a reason, because it stabilizes it, right? Same thing with us. So yeah, Anita, 100% agree with that one. Yep. And Esther Bobby dances. There you go. Yes. Right.
Balance is medicine too. That's medicine as well. Now, there's all sorts of other kinds of medicine that's non-invasive and miraculous. Some of the non-invasive and miraculous things are the tapping, where you tap on your meridians. There's Yamana is medicine, Pelawa is medicine, Reiki is medicine, kinesiology is medicine, anything that is natural. And, you know, like people have been doing all these things, you know, like the shamans and the healing on the hands and, you know, the witches that were working with herbs and lotions and potions and making poultices and, you know, laying on of hands like Jesus did that.
Yeah.
The laying on of hands, it goes back that far.
Yeah.
All of these things are medicine.
And the herbalist side of that as well. You know, the herbalist side of that as well. So there's so many herbs that are so good for us that we ignore, and treat as weeds too. If you think, Colleen, dandelion being
well, look at that. Yeah.
So
like there's not a bit of dandelions that you can't use.
Yeah. So dandelion tea, but we see it as a weed. And the bees love it and they love it for a reason, you know. So yeah.
Tracy has just said connecting like on these lives is fabulous medicine. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you.
The cheapest and freest of all of these things is meditation. Meditation. Now, a lot of people think when you say that word, meditation, that's a way of meditating. But for Kathy Lee, her dancing's a meditation. There was somebody up further, I don't know who it was, can't remember because they move really quickly. Somebody does belly dancing, that's a meditation. Wendy plays with clay, that's a meditation. Colleen paints, that's a meditation. For me, it's music. I can get completely lost in music. There's some music that comes on, my shoulders drop, and I'm instantly better. Instantly. I was thinking the other day too, I was thinking, you know, the music I used to get drunk to, now I'm cleaning to, that's just pathetic. That is so sad. It used to be in the
cleaning fast.
It does get the cleaning done fast. It does indeed. Nate joined a choir. That's why he told us to stop singing.
And lemon balm, Gail's talking about lemon balm, is very calming and very healing and is a nice tea. Yeah.
But there's so many other ones like chamomile, ginger, and they all have their own healing properties. I'll get back to that with Colleen in a minute. Fiona has said gardening. You know, Veronica says she meditates when she's massaging. A lot of people do that. It's that in the zone, you know, when there's nothing happening except the experience that you're having. Bubble baths, same with the water stuff, you know, and that it just brings you down. It gets you out your head. And it just, you feel so much better with all of the Yumanas and Pelawas and all of that kind of stuff. We all feel better once we've given it because we are also receiving the energy back again. You know? So,
there you go. Madras. Am I saying that right, Anita? Madras. Hand placement is like pressure points for the body. Yeah, exactly. That reflexology and madras, all of that stuff, putting in the pressure points within the body, that can relieve a lot of tension held within the physical body as well. You know what's great, Veronica, and we sometimes don't think about this, is face massage and head massage. Like how much stress when you're actually massaging the head and actually pull the energy out through the hair and shake it out, drawing any tensions away from the mind tension. Yep. Thank you, Anita. I just want to check I was saying that correctly. There you go. Nate saying diamond point activation. Yes. Right.
Marani's saying native plants, which our Aboriginal heritage have. And that goes back, there isn't a culture in the world, you know, the indigenous cultures of all lands have all got their own stuff, you know, whether it's peyote or whether it's, I don't know. I don't know enough about indigenous culture. I used to work with a man that would take us round the botanical gardens. He was a landscape artist, and he would take us round the botanical gardens, and he would give us all these things to eat. And I mean, we were talking about some of that, like the rosemary and the myrtle and the ginger, and you know, they're all natural stuff.
Yeah.
Ginger's great for settling your stomach, and if you've got seasickness, it's great for that too.
Yeah. And Colleen, I just wanted to talk to you too, because you've done a lot of looking into all of this. Water itself is a medicine, and maintaining our hydration is medicine. But sometimes the water doesn't have the right minerals, etc., in it. So you were talking about you use distilled water for your cooking and for your vegetables, don't you? Because it's not fluorinated. The fluoride. Did you want to just talk about what you do with that?
Everything except bathing. Well, yeah, fluoride's really bad for you. So, and my parents aren't well. You know, my dad's 91. He's got kidney issues. He's got this. He's got that. Mum's got cancer. Like, there's so many other chemicals they're putting in their mouth, given to them by the doctor, that I decided through some doctors that I wasn't going to tap water in Sydney. And I got to tell you, so I went and bought a distiller, and I distill all our water. My dad was getting massive cramps in his legs, like debilitating cramps in his legs. And after we started the distilled water, which we were told you can't drink because you get cramps, sense, and we've been doing that for 4 years now. So I cook with distilled water. It's just pure H2O. When we're dehydrated, I add salt to it.
Yeah.
You know, if you go to the hospital because you're dehydrated, they give you saline.
Yeah.
So we drink slightly salted water. And I've gone old school. I've just put our diet. They were on, you know, low fat, low salt, low this, low that diet. And I just went, I'm going to go old school and pretend we live on a farm back in the 1800s. So it's back to milk, full milk, butter, cream. I don't use any other oil except olive oil and coconut oil, and I just cook, everything we eat is in distilled water. And then we go back to magnesium, for instance, skin than you do through your stomach. So we bath in magnesium salts, and we give Dad feet baths in magnesium, and no cramps for any of us. So, and from one of the guys that I'm studying, a doctor, this drags out the heavy metals from your body because it's got no other metals in it. It kind of acts as a magnet. So, and since then, my dad, who was supposed to go on dialysis over 4 years ago, is not on dialysis, and his kidneys are actually holding their own. So, you know, is it fact, is it fiction? I don't know, but it's working for us. And the other thing I do personally, because this is for me, I have my own space, but I bear garden, and if I, like today, it was nice, and I was in the garden crawling around the grass, picking out weeds, just doing whatever I could do to stay out, you know, keeping myself occupied. And then I went off, bugger it, I went and read my book while I was lying flat out on the grass, you know, with, you know, 4 points of the compass covered. That's my happy place. Winter I do not like because I can't take my shoes, I can't handle the cold. Thumbs up, I'm in my glory. Give me a 40-degree day with a pool in the backyard or the beach. Oh, don't tease me. Don't tease me. You know, that's where, you know, like I came up in August and the whole week I was barefoot in shorts and a singlet, and I'm in the yard. Bugger the house. Work, you know, I can do it, but let me be.
There's no such thing as weeds. They're just flowers in the wrong place.
Yeah. So, and Fiona's
That's
saying
correct.
lose the processed foods. Oh,
Yeah.
guys, there's so much of that.
I cook
Um,
everything. I cook
eh,
everything at home. Fresh food,
yeah.
as fresh as I can get. And you know what? Everything's tainted. The water's tainted, the soil's tainted. So while I'm cooking dinner, I use my faith and I pray over the food so it blesses our body and feeds us. And you know, does it work? Does it not? They're not. They're still here.
There's something too
They,
about when I used to
um,
teach like the 5 week intro program that I used to do, one of the first things that we used to do was about energy work and energy exchange and understanding that the food that we eat is an energy exchange between the earth, the sunlight, the water, the food itself, and us. The whole process is an energy exchange. And it used to be a big thing, going back in the day, giving thanks, for the food on your table, actually appreciating it. Now, what's interesting is that when you do appreciate it and you chew slower and you savor the flavors and your body actually can absorb a lot more of the nutrients as well. So don't discount that thankfulness and gratefulness as part of that energy exchange.
Nate's just said that he's buying direct from farmers now, and the fruit and vegetables are cheaper and they taste much better and they last twice as long. Like if you've had a tomato that you've grown yourself and it's been in your yard and it's not been pumped up, blown up, blasted, like chickens, they're pumped full of water. Ham, pumped full of water. And like your dad and mum are 91, so they would have lived through the Depression. My aunties and my gran and all that lot, they all lived till they were well into their 90s, Colleen. Margarine was not a thing. It was butter. Butter's natural. It comes from cows. Margarine's nearly paint. One step away from paint, stripper.
it's toxic. Yeah.
It is. Full cream milk, and it doesn't matter what you eat as long as you do everything in moderation. Chocolate's good for you in moderation.
Yeah.
Red wine's good for you in moderation. So they all had really basic diets. It was like meat and vegetables, and that was all we had. We didn't have the whole time I was at home as a kid. The only processed food or takeaway food we got was fish and chips from the fish and chip shop. That was the only food we ever had. We never got, margarine's used to fatten turkeys, And, like when you think about all that stuff that you're sticking into your mouth, and it doesn't even taste bloody good. We bought raspberries from Coles, and no sooner have we got them home than they've gone all furry because and apples don't taste like apples anymore. Everything's been kept in storage for so long.
Yeah, and stored, and
Well,
then
it's not just that. A lot of them are X-rayed. Well, a lot of the fruit and veggies are now X-rayed or put through a scanner on the way out of the processing area. So it destroys the energy that was in the fruit. Like it destroys the life force. So getting straight from the growers is the best thing. Well, second best thing. The best thing is to grow your own, because while you're growing it and your hands are in the soil and you're tending it and you're sharing your energy with it, it actually reads your energy and produces what you need for your body in that plant. So, growing your own, energy works, and you should addition to that where you're actually feeding what you need into the plant and it gives back to you. So if someone's sick in your house and you're growing your own veggies, get them to go out and sit in the garden and play in the soil around the plants, or just touch them and tend them, and giving that love, the plant gives you back the in its fruit.
Yeah, never underestimate the power of that energy.
Because they did exactly that. They tended the animals. The milk was better because they milked the cow. Everything was better because they put their love into the product that they were then eating.
My auntie had a tiny flat It was only 2
Yeah,
rooms.
all the crap.
And she used to grow tomatoes in her window, on the window ledge. Honest to goodness, she had beautiful tomato plants. And she would say, I can't eat them because they're my babies and it feels like I'm eating my children. So she used to just give them all away. So I would say, just eat them. Oh, no, they're my babies. Goodness sake.
An interesting thing, this might be a little bit controversial, so I'll be careful in how I say it. Nate just said on here, I have chlorophyll with water every day. Nate, that's really interesting because when I was asking my guides about what's going on with this energy shift, they basically, I had this dream that I was putting something in the microwave and I left the alfoil on the top. Now, you know, when you put something in the microwave with the alfoil on it, how it sparks everywhere. Like you can't see the microwaves coming in, but it creates a terrible fire and you do your microwave in by doing it. But when they were showing me this stream, they were talking about chlorophyll from anything that's green, you know, your spinach, your kale, if you can have it. You know, all the greens definitely bring in that chlorophyll as a metal detox. And I thought that's interesting that they're telling me that because I'm really feeling the energy hitting the planet. And if you're an empath and you're sensitive to energy, then you can really feel that. So metals detox with these high energies hitting us through Schumann resonance, the solar flares, whatever else they're ionizing our skies with, whether you think they are or not. You know, all of that stuff, the Wi-Fi hitting us, all of that. I don't want to be the alfoil. I'm quite happy to wear a tinfoil hat for a reason.
The magnet. You don't want to be the magnet either. So
yeah, I don't want to be the alfoil in the microwave. So doing that metals detox is really important. I'm sure that's what the dream was connected to, and you just brought that back to me when you said chlorophyll.
Poor Amanda. Amanda's growing.
When I used to get babysat by my
Go, Colleen.
Yum.
My garden is growing sweet
when
corn.
My grandmother used to babysit because there was like
50, and 2 different types of banana.
15 grandkids. And we'd go in and say, you know, we're hungry. And we'd go in and tell my nan we were hungry. And she's like, well, there's a garden out there. So he's like 15 kids rummaging through, eating her peas off the vine because she wouldn't spray them with anything. The blueberries, you know, and we just have a harvest on a stuff straight off the store. Can't get any fresher from that. And there's a purity in that because it hasn't had time for the energy to leave it. You know, it's so fresh. There's just nothing like it. So that's my idea when I come home, is to have no grass, so I don't have I like mowing, but no mowing, and just have vegetable racks gardens all the way through my back.
Yeah.
My uncle Rocco's place was like that. Every place he ever had was just the food gardens. And Nita Gill, cleanse your insides. That's it. That's definitely what it's about. And can I just do, like, we had a whole range of things that Annie's gone through tonight. Can I just throw one last one in before we finish up tonight? Don't forget, breath work is medicine, right? And I'm talking about proper breathing, right? So not our shallow breathing, but really breathing in deeply, but not just the breathing in, the breathing out. Because fully expelling the oxygen, like say you're breathing in the oxygen, and then as you're breathing out the carbon dioxide, that's releasing also a lot of toxins and a lot of waste from the body. So breath work and doing proper breathing techniques is also a medicine.
Yeah, what's happening at the moment is trees do the opposite of us. So they absorb the my head's gone blank.
Yeah, carbon. Yep.
Carbon, and they
Carbon
produce
dioxide.
oxygen. Thank you, Colleen. And they produce oxygen. And where I live, so many of the trees are getting flattened. The paddocks are all getting flattened. There's so much building going on everywhere at the moment. You know, like Australia's pretty good at keeping green spaces, but it's getting to the point now that there's more houses and stuff than there is green spaces. And I think that getting out in nature and getting to a beach or getting to the positive ions that you get from the ocean, or the calm and the still and the quiet that you get from a mountain stream or a waterfall, or just hug a bloody tree, you know. And it's so easy and so simple. And the shallow breathing, that's not good either. You know, what Kerrie's talking about with the breath work, you know, like when we move fast and we're getting agitated, you know, that's when the breathing is coming from here. So we're not getting enough oxygen into our bodies.
And sometimes the more stressed you get, and you have to catch yourself out a bit, you hold your breath because you're trying to hold in the emotion. That's probably one of the worst things you do, because you're totally deoxygenizing, put a lot of stress on the nervous system. So that breath work, and it's also part of the energy flow. The breath work is part of your energy flow. So you want to stay connected with that. And Anita's saying plant some marigolds in your vegetable patch, companion plants. They help each other. Yes.
Yeah. And give the caterpillar something to munch on. They eat all my plants. It drives me
and
mad.
find local honey if you've got any irritation, any hay fever or whatever. You've got to eat local honey, only in glass, and you don't use a metal spoon. You got to use like a wooden spoon to get it out.
Honey's a whole natural food. Like there's nothing. Honey cures ulcers.
It never goes off.
Yeah, they put honey on ulcers to cure septic ulcers.
But the trick is never to use metal in it. So it's glass and wooden spoon in a glass jar, and it will never go off, and it never gets contaminated.
Yeah.
But local is the thing.
Right. Local is the thing.
It has to be the plants that you're breathing.
Helps with your hay fever. I had some honey and I was good there for a while. I need to get some more local honey. Yeah, it does cure all. Real bit of a different topic tonight, everyone, but because everyone seems to be going through, yes, the tower moments. Obviously, there's energy and things that we're clearing, but the whole energy shift, and it's been a real focus of all of this year. And we know we're really looking forward to the equinox in March. So if you've got your seeds of life, or we're calling them the seeds of light, as Kachina Maan was sharing with us, and planting those, we're really looking forward to the equinox. But this space in between is a really important time to get ourselves right and get ourselves ready for that shift. Why is the hair of bees so sticky? Because they use honeycombs. There you go. And laughter is the best medicine. Thank you, Nate.
With this topic, I just wanted to bring things back to basics, because we keep getting blasted with this is going to happen and that's going to happen, and there's this virus and there's that virus and there's the other virus, you know, like, and it just seems to be a never-ending run of and you know, like if you can follow some of this stuff. Fiona's off for a magnesium bath. I'm going to a float tank tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'm going to float in a magnesium. It's magnesium and Epsom salts. I'm going to float in there for an hour tomorrow. I might never get out again.
Best thing ever.
I'm doing a sauna. It was a gift. So I'm doing the sauna first, and then I'm throwing myself into a magnesium bath. And I've got so many aches and pains that I just need to lie there for an hour. Nate, I saw Sophia today, and I've given her Kachina's sound box. So she's going to bring it down to Sydney. So if you can let Kachina know, I just haven't had time to catch up with her, what with being to Alaska and all that stuff. So, and it would be great if you come back to us with what she's done with you down in Sydney. That would be fabulous.
Yeah, we'd love to hear an update on that too from everybody.
Bill's handing out these seeds. I'm handing them out to everybody.
Yeah,
I've got them planted all over the place. I'm just, everywhere I go, I'm sticking them in the ground and I'm handing them out like lollies. So yeah. So I've got them all over Brisbane because I travel so much.
Yeah.
Now, Miss
So-
Kerrie, are we going to pull?
Can I give
cards?
my
Yes.
Go,
So can
Colleen.
I give my quick list of cheap things to keep you healthy? Because everyone knows
Yeah.
I'm on a really tight budget, so I
Absolutely.
can't do the cleansers and everything that everyone's talking about. That would be wonderful, and I can't do them because I just don't have the capital behind that. But what, like I said, I've gone back to my grandma's recipe books. I have a dose of castor oil orally. I use it on my face and my hair. If my stomach's upset, I put it in my belly button and lie down for a while. Castor oil is fantastic, old school gut remedy. So if your gut's not working right because we're full of parasites, the gut rehab once a week with castor oil. I got onto colloidal silver about 20 years ago, where I used to have chronic cold sores, and I mean chronic, top lip, bottom lip, probably every third week. And I realized after I was taking that for a completely different reason that I haven't had a cold sore since. So if they reckon there's no cure for herpes, I've got to tell you that they're wrong, because I definitely have been cured of that little virus. And I've kept mum and John, giving them a swig out of the bottle every so often. So colloidal silver is good. And we're also taking turmeric extract. It's called cardamom. And it's the brand we use is like really thick, so it's like condensed, and that's good for any inflammation. So I've had sort of two fingers starting to get a bit how you going with my knuckles, and since I've been taking that now I can make a full fist. And this is my painting hand. It was hard to hold a paintbrush because my thumb wasn't working anymore, and it's working. So this is what I'm doing along with the distilled water and just the back to basic healthy food. And please watch when you're getting your fish and chips, because if they're frying that stuff in vegetable oil, it is doing you so much harm. And it's not about cholesterol. It's about the oil itself it's more suited to put in your car than what it is into your belly. So just be careful about fried foods out, unless you know what you're frying it in. If it's not olive oil or coconut oil, then it's really hurting anything. So yes, turmeric is the turmeric is really helping. So many people are having so many good results on this stuff with eczema, psoriasis, any skin, because everything's an inflammation. So eczema and any skin disorders are an inflammation of the skin. That's kind of the definition. So anything that can help reduce that inflammation is good. And everything comes back to it. It's all parasites as well. So anything you can do that's a parasite cleanse. The problem is now you got to do it all the time because there's parasites in everything we're getting now. So it's like a constant. Gone back to, I haven't had the flu in about 20 years. So like I'm a smoker. Yeah. Well, I haven't had a cold for so long. I don't know when the last time I even went to the doctor. I think what you've got to do is it's almost like the kinesiology with what you're doing. If someone tells you what they're using and you pick it up and look at it, or hold the bottle and just ask yourself, is this for me? And if you're in tune with your energy, it will tell you a yes or no. So I just wait until something resonates with me, and then I give it a try after I've done a bit of research on it. And look, I have done a lot of research on it, but I'm not going to mention it because I'm going to look up your own because I don't want to put it up here and get us cancer. I'm growing some herbs now because I'm going to make my own comfrey balm because my daughter has skin condition. and my mum and dad have skin conditions, so I'm going to give that a try on them. Mainly because I'm bored too, so give me something to do. I'm just waiting for the damn plant to grow enough. So tap into your energy and ask your body if this is for you. And the food, if I don't feel that, it actually makes me like if I have chips now, which are really bad, my salt and vinegar chips now, if I eat them, I literally vomit after it. Like it doesn't even get down to my stomach anymore. So that's my tester now. If something I'm trying to eat, my favorite bad foods, they literally make me sick. And God, the last time I ate KFC, that was projectile vomiting. That was no good. So
that's interesting too. Even listening to your own body, you talk about, women who have cravings during pregnancy. Like they're just craving a certain thing, and you're sort of listening to your body. But we should be doing that all the time as well, because your body will tell you what you really need. I have to say that salt and vinegar chip thing, I do get cravings for that, but actually I think it's the craving for the salt and the vinegar itself, not the chips.
Okay, so Nate,
apparently we need about 5 to 10 times more salt than what they recommend. So yeah.
So serious question. Knowing what nicotine does to you, how do you balance putting that in your body? I've been smoking.
It's the wrong question because nicotine is good for you. It's the other toxins that aren't.
I've been smoking for years and years.
So it's the wrong question.
And some of it is also attitudinal. When I was expecting my daughter, I stopped smoking. And I went to the doctors and he said, oh my God, your blood pressure is 170 over 110. What the hell have you done? And I said, stop smoking. And he said, well, start again. 5 a day. Keep it to 5 a day because your blood pressure can't cope with that. I've tried to give up so many times. It's your attitude towards it. And it's the same deal. It doesn't scare me. And I just think it's a breathing technique. It's a smoking ceremony. And I know it's stupid and I know it's ridiculous and I know it's expensive, but I've been smoking for so long, caffeine and nicotine, that I'm not even the same person without either of them. And when I do stop, I actually feel worse. Now, Paul smoked for years and years and years, never had a cough, had incredible lung capacity. He stopped. Now he's got COPD. Now, back the excuses when he was smoking, he got COPD. It actually wasn't the smoking that caused that. It was the toxins that he was working with when he was in the Air Force, Yeah, it does. And I agree with that, Nate. It's that, like you can see the minute the minute somebody says to you that you have to go on a diet, you want cake because somebody's limiting what you have to do. Like if you can still eat chippies, you can
or when you do it to yourself, I'm on a diet.
Yeah. And the minute you do that, or the minute you stop smoking, or you think I'll stop smoking in 3 weeks, you smoke a packet a day because you're going to stop in 3 weeks. So you try to get in as many as you possibly can before you get to the end of it. But that attitude stuff, you can go to the beach and you can think, oh, the sand is shitty and it's in my toes and it's gritty and I'm going to get it in my car and it's really messy and the water's cold, and you can have that attitude. Or you can go to the beach and think the sand is glorious in my feet and it's cleansing and it's purifying and I just love being in the waves. Everything is about your attitude. It's all about your attitude, and if people do stuff for you, there's people in the world that if you do something for them, they say, what are you going to get out of this? What do you want? Because you're being nice to them. That's not an attitude of gratitude. That's one of these walls that people put up. Like, you want something from me, so why are you doing that? What's this going to cost me? What's the payoff? And so much of that is, I've got people who I know that girls who are single, a lot of girls who are single, all of a sudden, one of their friends hooks up with somebody, and they can either be really supportive or absolute bitches because they're miserable and just want to sit around whinging, and all of a sudden one of them's happy, and there's no joy for that person.
Yeah.
It's what you doing with him?
Mhm.
He's no good for you. Blah de blah de blah. Every single, your attitude's a choice. It's a choice. And you can choose to wake up and think, today's going to be a good day, or you can choose to think, oh shit, another day, another dollar, you know. And that attitude is what's going to affect your day, your life, and the people around you. So all of these things that we've been talking about, the laughing, the sleep, the nature, the sunlight, the gratitude, the love energy, you know, the purest energy there is. There's people who say, I can't meditate, my head won't stop. Well, you know, you don't need to sit down, go a run, that's a meditation. But so much of this is around attitude. When I was on the cruise, I met this lady. She's had a stroke. She has constant UTIs. She's had 3 aneurysms, brain bleeds. She's got MS. She was in a wheelchair. At 3 o'clock in the morning in the casino, she was spinning her chair going, wee, and having the time of her life. Other people, when they get unwell or sick, just curl up in a ball and die. You know, and she should have been dead. She, older than me, she should have been dead a long time ago and just freaking refused to give in. She was burning her way through her credit cards because she didn't own anything. She said, what are they going to do? Kill me again? You know, it's all about the attitude.
And as well as the attitude, because everything in moderation, your attitude has a major thing to do with it. But also think about how much chemical intervention has been put into things, right? So whether that be pesticides into the water, whether that be the pollution that goes into the earth, whether that be the chemicals that they put into tobacco, whether that be the fluoride that they put into our water, every time that we have a chemical interaction with nature, we're not making it better. Processed food, we're not making it better. You know, so everything in moderation, but also take into consideration how much intervention there's been with something that should be natural. And that brings us back to the simplicity, right? Life should be simple, but we've complicated it with all these extra things, which are actually not to benefit for anybody. Yeah. Anyway, I've got my cards ready to go. Do you, Annie?
So, and
Go, Kerrie.
now one more thing before we go. Old school stuff. They did used to pray over their food when they didn't have a lot, or they had, you know, they only had potatoes or whatever they had. They did pray over the food that it nourished their body. And, you know, if you believe that you can control your body, you can bless your food when you eat it, even if you can't afford good quality food, because I can't. But, you know, doing that prayer of the food and changing the energy of the food in that process, and then being
Makes a big
difference.
difference.
If you believe that you can purge your body of the toxins, then who's to say it's not doing it?
Yeah.
Just my tidbit at the end. There's a lot of faith in it.
But thank you, everyone, for jumping in tonight, also getting involved, sharing your experiences and what you're doing with your joy and what you use as your balancing things, as the things that, you know, you can call it the medicine in your life. So, you know, we went through exercising, fasting, nature, laughter, sleep, sunlight, friends, meditation, breath work, music. I mean, there's so many things that can bring that positive energy. And as we're moving through all these energy shifts, all of those things and bringing it back to that simplicity is super important. So we thank you so much for all of you for sharing your hints and tips. And Colleen, so great to have you coming front and center with us tonight as well. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, it's back to pajamas next week, buddy.
We'll throw her on screen without her knowing, and she'll go, ah. And
Well,
that
it's
was
nearly 10 o'clock in your world, so you should be in your PJs.
yeah,
No.
that's it.
Okay, Kerrie, go, go, go.
Okay, so no
Yeah.
surprise to me is the first card that I drew was the Tower. So I feel for a lot of people, just when you think you've got through everything and you're getting back to clean sailing again, something else might be happening. There's a lot of purging going on at the moment and a lot of things that we need to clear on a lot of levels. So tonight's topic is I think very apt with that, because it's looking at the natural things that bring us joy and happiness and attitude, and the way that we're actually moving forward through these changes that will help propel us forward, because it's definitely time to be letting things go. Coming into the rebirth of everything. I'm just laughing because of the way they do that. And again, they're talking about, you know, this inner child work, getting back to that simplicity. I'm just laughing because I put the cards down. Well, these are definitely the cards for tonight. Getting back to that simplicity. Think about all you've grown through and every single journey and lesson and things, whether they be good or bad, that have come along the way. There for your own growth and your own journey, so you are in the right place right now. There's been lots of seeds planted, right? Connection with the earth, connection with your thoughts, dreams, attitudes, and it's ready to produce the fruit, right? You're ready to sprout in this new area now, and it's time for us to be stepping into this journey. So stop staring at the water, take that board and get out there amongst the waves, and that's the messages for us tonight.
Why do I bother? Okay, here we go. I've got my dandelions.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the plants that we were talking about tonight.
Mm-hmm.
This is around that willing release. Blow
Yes.
away these, like I call them wish flowers. Blow away anything that's holding you back or in your way or getting in the road. Get back to the simple stuff. Keep it easy, that kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first one. Strangely enough, the second one is a bloody tree. Roots of abundance. What we've been talking about. We've been talking about grounding. We've been talking about earthing. For me, this is about, at the moment, because the energy is all over the place, plant your feet on the earth. Think around, this is all I've accomplished this year. So now it's time to dig in for what's coming and what's going to happen next year. So roots of abundance. We've done a whole lot of the work. So many of you on here have done so much work this year that I really want you to recognize on our next live, because this abundance is coming. The third card I picked, it's the divine matrix. And this is one of the things that we're all part of. And I think the divine matrix is a bit wobbly at the moment. I think the matrix is being tipped on its side a little bit. And I think for us to remember the gratitude, the love, the laughter, all of the things, the dancing, the music, anything at all that brings you joy, that helps with this. It helps with that grounding, and it helps. And one of my things is always see the big picture. Don't focus on all the itty bitty bits, because that's where your head will start to spin. Big picture stuff. The last one, I have tried to get rid of this card 3 times tonight, and it will not go away.
It's not going to let you.
It will not go away. Before we started, I pulled this ruddy card. Then I saw it and I thought, I don't want you. Then it fell out the pack. Like it just won't go away. Bugger it. Close encounters. Now, I feel we had a little chat about this before we came on tonight, because that stupid card popped its little noggin up, didn't it? Hello, here I am. Pay attention to me. Again, with the earth tipping on its axis and so much unrest around, I just think that this earthing grounding and staying in the high energy of joy and not dropping into any kind of energy of fear or getting sucked into the bullshit that's spread around the world every now and again. I think this getting back to nature, getting your feet in the dirt, staying grounded and balanced right at this moment in time is really, really important. So, and virtually, Kerrie, that's what your cards were saying as well. Get on,
100%.
ride that wave. Just
Yeah.
ride that wave.
Ride the wave. Yep. And they just said, look at the bottom card. So I looked at it and laughed. Look, there you go. This is where you're meant to be. Stay in that joy, stay in that abundance, stay in that, you know, everything is coming to fruition. Everything is coming up roses. I'm hearing everything's coming up roses, right? Because this is good things coming to fruition, right? And so it's all the hard work coming there. Don't get stuck in the fear. Don't get stuck in those moments, because it's a passing. It's letting things go right now. Yeah.
And take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Can I give homework tonight?
Sure.
Can I give homework?
Sure.
Okay.
We've taught you well.
So, well, you get to give me homework all the time. I can give out some homework too. I was a teacher once too. I never did homework, but okay. So I want everyone in the morning when you wake up to grab a piece of paper, and you're going to write your menu of the day. So what to digest for today? Get your vegetables, the news, the crap in gossip columns, the crap that P. Diddy's done, we Diddy, up T. Diddy, I don't know. Just peel all that off and throw it in the bin. And what other ingredients are you going to put in to your cauldron for a healthy soul? So you've got, you know, your vegetables and your intake. You've got your ball of apples, you know, your onion with the layers of sunlight and soil and skies, and, you know, what are you going to put in on that day to make that cauldron full of what you need, mind, body and soul, to sustain you for the day? And that's your gratitude, right? You're picking out everything that you can, like today was a beautiful sunny day. For me, that was easy. Days I struggle with, when I can't get outside and I've got to pull my winter clothes out again, I struggle. So I've been sitting there and I go, well, what can I do today that will nourish that part of me? And think of yourself as your own holistic healer. And this is the cauldron of spells and stew that you're going to digest for the day. And what's not in the bowl is all the other crap. The gossip, the celebrities, the news, the gossip mongers, all of that's on the outside and gone. And that's part of your spell, right? You're going to up all those ingredients the day, and as you're for it, and you're going to easy, healthy life, healthy everything.
Yeah.
And hopefully then you become a blessing to those around you, because they'll start doing it as well.
Yeah.
So share the joy, go out there and hug a stranger, but not only if they've got a trench coat on, that wouldn't be good, but just go out there and give joy to everyone.
Yeah.
Well, it might be good for them, but you know.
That's an awesome recipe, what you just gave us.
Thank you, Miss Colleen, for being on with us. Thank you to everybody.
These are my cards.
Thank you to everybody for being with us and for sharing all your thoughts as well. Remember what our next topic is. So have a think about what you would be happy to share with us. And we'll see you in a fortnight. So have a good couple of weeks, and we'll see you soon. Thank you so much.
Good night, everybody. Have a great fortnight. Bye.
Night, everyone.